In this video, we're going to learn about single recursion versus multiple recursion in C. So there are several different ways that we can classify and categorize recursive functions. One of these is single recursion versus multiple recursion. If a recursive function is designed such that each call to the function makes at most one new recursive function call, we call this single recursion. But if a recursive function is designed such that each call to the function could make more than one new recursive function call, we call this multiple recursion. Let's go over an example of each type of recursive function. We'll start off with an example of single recursion. So the factorial of a non-negative integer is given as follows. N factorial is n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 all the way down to times 2 times 1. So for example, 4 factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is going to be 24. And 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is going to be 120. Now notice that 5 factorial is really 5 times 4 factorial, because we have 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is exactly what 4 factorial is. So we can actually use this to build a recursive function. We can have here int fact and then int n. And the function could return n times fact when it's called with n minus 1. Now because the function is calling itself here, we call this a recursive step or a recursive case. This is going to give us the sequence of multiplication operations that we want to calculate the factorial. So for example, if we call the function with 5, that's going to result in 5 times fact when it's called with 4. But fact when it's called with 4 is going to result in 4 times fact when it's called with 3. So we'll have 4 times fact when it's called with 3. This is going to result in 3 times fact when it's called with 2. And this is going to result in 2 times fact when it's called with 1. Now eventually, we do need recursion to stop. We call that a base case or base step. 0 factorial is defined as 1. So this can be our base case. We'll have here a check. We'll have if n is equal to 0, then we're going to return 1. Otherwise, we're going to return n times factorial when it's called with n minus 1. We should test this function out now. Down here in main, we'll call the function. We'll have printf fact 5 is equal to %d \n to output the int, and we'll call the function with the argument 5. If we save, compile, and run the program, we do get that fact 5 is 120, which is correct. Now notice that each specific function call to fact is going to result in at most one new recursive function call. So we're going to have a linear chain of recursive function calls, where each function call in that chain produces at most one new function call. So it's going to look like this. Fact n is going to result in a call fact n minus 1. Which is going to result in a call fact n minus 2. But each function call will only produce, at most, one new function call. So this is what we call single recursion, or sometimes it's called linear recursion. Notably, the growth in the number of recursive function calls is going to grow linearly. So if n is 9, we're going to have 9 recursive function calls. But if n is 10, we're going to have 10 recursive function calls. So the growth is going to be linear in that sense. Next, let's go over an example of multiple recursion. So the Fibonacci sequence is this sequence of numbers here. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and so on, where each number in the sequence is the sum of the 2 previous numbers in the sequence. So for example, 21 is the sum of 13 and 8, and 13 is the sum of 8 and 5. Now the Fibonacci sequence is defined using this recurrence relation. So each term n in the sequence is defined as the term n minus 1 in the sequence plus the term n minus 2 in the sequence. So this here is going to define our recursive step in our algorithm. Now the recurrence relation also has what are called initial conditions. So term 0 is defined as 0, and term 1 is defined as 1. Let's actually implement this recursive function now. We'll have here int fib int n. So if n is equal to 0, then we're going to return 0. Else, if n is equal to 1, then we're going to return 1. These are the base cases or base steps. Now, for the recursive step, we're going to have else return fib when it's called with n minus 1 plus fib when it's called with n minus 2. And so here, we're just very directly using the definition of the Fibonacci sequence to define our function, because term n is going to be term n minus 1 plus term n minus 2, where the first two terms, term 0 and term 1, are special. Where no recursive function call is required, we can just return 0 and 1 in those cases. So we can test out this function. Down here in main, we'll have printf fib8 is equal to %d \n to output an int, and we'll call fib with 8. If we save, compile, and run the program, we'll get here that fib8 is 21, and that is correct because term 8 is 21. Now notice that unlike the factorial function, each specific call to the function fib could result in multiple new recursive function calls being created. Specifically, in the recursive step here, there's going to be 2 new function calls created. This is what makes it multiple recursion. We're also no longer going to have a linear chain of recursive function calls. We're now going to have a tree structure of recursive function calls. So it's going to look like this. If we call the function with 2, we'll have 2 recursive function calls, fib1 and fib0. So for n2, we have 2 recursive function calls. If we call the function with 3, that's going to result in a call fib2 and fib1, where fib2 is again going to result in function calls fib1 and fib0. So for n3, we have 4 recursive function calls. Then if n is 4 and we have fib4, that's going to result in function calls fib3 and fib2. Fib2 again results in 2 more function calls, and fib3 again results in 4 more function calls. So for n4, we now have 8 recursive function calls. So each time n increases by 1, the number of recursive function calls doubles. So if a function call can produce 2 or more new recursive function calls, we call this multiple recursion. We sometimes call this tree recursion because the recursive function calls will form a tree structure. If a function call may produce, at most, 2 new recursive function calls, we may also call this binary recursion. Now notably, as n increases, the number of recursive function calls is growing exponentially. An algorithm that uses multiple recursion can be inefficient if the number of recursive function calls continues to grow exponentially like this as the size of the input increases. But analyzing the complexity of algorithms is a large topic that involves looking at more than just single recursion versus multiple recursion. Notably, it's often easier to convert a function which uses single recursion to non-recursive iterative code than it is a function which uses multiple recursion. Converting an algorithm which uses multiple recursion to iterative code may require using something like a stacked data structure to keep track of the data that the algorithm uses. So this is the difference between single recursion and multiple recursion in C. Check out portfoliocourses.com, where we'll help you build a portfolio that will impress employers, including courses to help you develop C programming projects.